going to go over them and then comment on overall team comp, and then we'll go back to you guys' questions. So start getting them ready. In terms of blue team, they have banned out Victor, Tristana, and Fizz. Fizz, meh, I think there's better bans. Victor, I hate you, and I don't ever want to talk to you again. But I could see why you ban him. He's pretty crazy right now. Tristana, very, very common ban, highly contested pick. On the split side, they banned out Nidalee, Morgana, and Lee Sin. Lee Sin, I don't think is worth banning anymore. There are better junglers. If you're worried about like an offensive jungler, you ban out like, well, Vi's a common ban. Warwick is actually a decently common ban as well. But there's a lot of things you could ban if you're worried about that sort of aggressive early game jungle style play. Lee Sin's still popular though, so it's effective. In terms of picks, they have top lane Annie, which is better than most people think, but you do need really, really good positioning if you're going to do things properly. Then they picked up the Vi jungle. Ashe, wait a second. I have no fucking clue. So Ashe AD carry, who knows where Katarina, who knows where Yasuo. I'm going to assume then that it's Annie support, but why would you run teleport if you're running Annie support? That's a little odd. But we're going to say Annie support, mid lane Katarina, top lane Yasuo, although it could be switching around. We'll wait and see. I'm sorry, just when you see teleport, you think top lane. Purple team has then picked up, oh boy, Thresh, Jinx bot lane, fantastic combo. They went with the Jarvan again, they went with Ziggs this time, so even more AoE to throw in on top of that, and then a Shyvana top. I think they were probably listening last game and heard me just praise that team comp. Jinx, Thresh, and Jarvan are amazing. Just those three together, they have so much lockdown, AoE, and just survivability between each other that they're just a force to reckon with. Throw a Ziggs on top of that, and you have crazy AoE, even more lockdown with his knock-up / knock-back and his slows. And then, of course, you have Shyvana, who could ult across that and just be almost unkillable. So they have a really good team comp if they can get to the stage where they're even or ahead of blue team, and they're in 5v5 fights. On the split side, though, blue team is going to dominate skirmishes and pick potential. They have the Ashe arrow. Ashe arrow lands, boom, you just won that fight. They have the Vi ult. Vi ult lands, boom, you just won that fight. They have Annie ult, boom, you just won the fight. They have Yasuo. Well, they don't necessarily have a lot to pair with Yasuo. It's just the Vi knock-up. But even still, Yasuo, Katarina, anytime they find lone targets, if they're in any way ahead or even, they should be picking up kills. Whether that's kill potential on Ziggs or Jinx. The only deterrent to that is that the rest of the picks are relatively tanky. Thresh can cancel out a lot of these plays, Jarvan can get away from them, and Shyvana is just too tanky, plus can get away. So honestly, purple team has amazing team fights, whereas blue team they have good team fight, but they're a little more inclined to do smaller skirmishes, 3v3s or 5v3s or 2v1s, just smaller team fights rather than full-on 5v5. Because yeah, some people in chat are saying, but they have a Katarina and Yasuo. Yes, those are great champions for AoE fights, but they're not necessarily good in 5v5s because they're going to be locked down and killed too quickly. There are exceptions to that, but usually it boils down to how... Oh, I think I switched the wrong display mode, didn't I? That usually boils down to how far ahead you are. And unless they're super far ahead, I don't see that 5v5 working out as well for them. They would be more inclined to want jungle skirmishes or smaller team fights. Now, while we're loading in, if you guys have questions or comment, I would love to hear them. Why is the screen black? Because it's loading. This happens all the time. I think it should be up in a second. It's just trying to connect to the spectator client. Not sure if this is loading or not. There we go. Your tits are vibrating? Well, I'm sure someone would enjoy that. Fortunately for you, I'm not one of them. Alright, so I'm still not seeing any questions, so I'll just let this load in. Again, once we're into the game itself, it's going to be a little harder to answer questions from chat because I'm going to be doing other things. Someone asking about how we build Victor after the rework. I'm honestly building the exact same as I did before the rework. Lichbait is very strong, but it means replacing your Athenes or your Boots. That's not generally something you feel safe doing, because you need your Augment, because, well, you can't sell it. You need your Hourglass, because people are going to dive onto you, and it's Hourglass. It's OP, right? Like, almost every mid in the game needs Hourglass if they're AP. You need Void Staff, because Magic Resist is a thing. And you're probably going to want a Death Cap. So that leaves, okay, do you want Boots? Because that's an optional item, right? With the Q, right, you have 30% move speed now. So Boots are an optional item. I oftentimes will sell them late game. I've also done a few times where I don't buy them at all. That's separate. But it is technically an optional item. And your final optional item would be Athenes. Well, if you replace Athenes with Lichbane, you have no CDR, therefore you can't teamfight, you can only burst. That's all well and good if you, let's say, have blue buff and CDR runes and blue elixir, but that's a late game build. You're giving up all your mana resist, cooldown reduction, magic resist in the mid game in order to have a slightly stronger spike potential. So while those are viable options, it's very difficult to justify replacing those items, and that's the same reason that things like DFG, Liandry's, Rylai's are very hard to fit into those builds, because you're losing so much in order to make it happen. What do I think about top lane champions in general? Is there any reason to pick, say, Olaf over someone like Lulu and Ryze? Olaf is a little bit weak right now, but I'm pretty sure you're an Olaf main, so like you're not gonna... Me saying, well, no, Olaf is terrible, isn't going to make you stop playing Olaf. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you like a champion, you should be worried about how much you enjoy them and how well you can play them, more so than saying, wait, are they good? How good are they? Well, at the end of the day, you ask yourself, are you winning with them and are you enjoying playing them? That's the measure of it. How do you join the giveaway? It lists right on your screen. Just pay attention to chat. It will remind you when the giveaway is open, and it will give you all the information you need. Also, he's being timed out, though, because he's done nothing but spam. Yeah, Olaf is a fantastic dueler. I definitely agree with you on that. Alright, so we're just running on Thresh. He's at 97%. This is taking a while, and I do apologize, but not too much I can do about it. I am not playing. I am spectating. This is a ranked workshop. This is an environment for me to give feedback on people's gameplay, decision-making, attitude, communication, and just generally help them identify mistakes so that they can then practice and fix them in the long term. Alright, so this is my wild guess as to where people are going. I'm going to assume Yasuo top, but it could definitely be a Yasuo mid. What should you do if you get flamed because you aren't performing well due to lag? You mute them. If someone says anything remotely negative, you immediately mute them. And if you feel that they're going to influence the team's attitude, you mute your entire team. You do not listen to negativity. If someone says, can you play a bit more safely? That's different. That's them offering constructive advice. But someone saying, what the fuck are you doing? Why did you do that fight? That was terrible. Or something like that. That's not constructive. It's not going to help you play better. So immediately mute them and move on and play your best. There is no reason to listen to negativity. Alright, so I was right with my predictions here. Alright, so I don't like Amped Home Start on Katarina. Her early game damage is abysmally low. So Boots allows her to dodge out of skill shots, such as those from Ziggs. Well, it's pretty easy once you have Boots, right? And it's going to give you a lot of potions so that you can survive through that. And scale up once you get 6, or once you get ganks, or once you roam, you're going to be able to get fed regardless of whether or not you have that extra 20 AP. So I really don't like this hyper aggressive start, but it's possible that his positioning is just that good, or he's just that experienced with Katarina that he's not going to have too many problems. To each their own. Same thing with Yasuo. I would expect to see him going longsword rather than Doran's Blade, but either one is a viable option. Versus Shyvana, it's actually probably a decent idea going Doran's Blade. If he was versus anyone who had a lot of ranged harass or hyper early game bullying potential, then I would disagree. I would say longsword, make sure you have the potions. Shyvana is about controlled all-ins. She runs straight at you, hits you a few times, and runs away. And in that trade, longsword's probably going to be just fine. Oh, sorry, Doran's Blade is probably going to be just fine. In bot lane, no ward start, no ward start. Pretty much what you expect to see. I would expect, though, that you would have biscuits. Biscuits are strong. I like them. Each their own, though. It's not a big deal. Alright, so here we see already down to about 2/3 health on Katarina. And this is how the lane goes. Having boots allows you to try and avoid some of that damage. There you go, half health. You're sitting at 0 CS and half health in the first minion wave, right? I mean, I'm not saying the 0 CS is such a big deal. I mean, you're going to farm it at some point or another. But this is why I don't like this start, and it's just me pointing out why it is an issue. Alright, so I want to take a quick pick at top lane because it is a very... I would just say whoever gets an early advantage is probably going to keep it. But Shyvana has an edge in it, so I want to see how it's played. Yes, if you're interested in looking for shoutcasters, we're always looking for new ones. The cutoff point is you have to be at least platinum, and then you submit a test video of you doing shoutcasting. Just like spectate a friend, offer advice, try and spectate what's happening in the game. And it's a good idea for us to get an idea for your attitude, commentation style, and mic quality. Alright, so we see the early hook going in. Annie taking a lot of damage, disengages with a very nice W stun across all of them. And at the end of the day, they end up pretty much equal. The slight difference is that Thresh has more health potions because Annie went for some mana. And as a result, oh, never mind, let's take a look at top. J4 lands a knock-up, a lot of damage going on to Yasuo. You don't want him to chase in a straight line like that because he's going to disengage. So, two issues there. First one, you saw him coming. You didn't react. You're still running in, you're still fighting. You waited until he was here, even though you walked over a ward. Second issue, you saw him jumping in, you had flash. If you jumped over that, you would have saved yourself from getting knocked up and would have been in a much safer state. Then on purple side, if you're chasing in a straight line like that and you see that he has his aura up, of course he's going to queue backwards and disengage both of you. I want to see J4 walk to the side out in this direction, straight down. And that way he's cutting him off because he's going down anyways and avoided the damage there. Oh, someone else is saying E3 drive in and then flash. That also would have been a good option, yes. Sorry, I was just focusing on generic examples, not so much the champion-specific ones. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so you're still standing on the ward and you're still staying? What? I do not agree with that. Jarvan is not a projectile, so that's not going to work. So that should be a very dead Yasuo. So he needs to work on his map awareness. He needs to work on his champion mechanics slightly. Can't tell if he's already E'd him or not, because he could have E'd through. You see the flash auto attack coming through from J4, and boom, first blood over to him. But yeah, I strongly dislike how he played that. That was just very subpar. Yeah, so there's 9 CS on Akali here, 10 now. I would like to see Ziggs just pressuring this. Stand up at or past minions, and constantly auto attack and Q every time she tries to come in range to farm. Alright, so Annie just harassing in bot lane, pretty much as you would expect with her autos. Thresh not really landing very much. I'm gonna just focus on bot lane for the next minute or so, unless I see a gank coming up. I want to see how well Annie is able to continue harassing this out. Nice dodge. They just grabbed the lantern, avoided the extra burst coming in from W. Alright, so Vi is near mid. If Akali, sorry, not Akali, blah, blah, blah. If Katarina were able to try and bait a fight, I'm sorry, generic assassins that I don't like playing against, they're all the same to me. I was hoping that maybe Katarina would be able to try and bait in a fight and Vi could go in from the side. We may still see that, but she's a little far out. Yeah, no, she's not going in. So they're just gonna go their own ways. Alright, so bot lane has bullied out purple team. About 4 or 5 CS up. Not a big deal, but they're gonna get more, because, well, they're not here. That's actually surprising, though, because Ashe is not known for a strong laning phase. Which is a slight misnomer, though, because her laning phase is not weak. It's that it's risky, right? You have to play it almost perfectly. You have to be constantly volleying, positioning, not getting caught out in any way. It's just so much pressure on Ashe to perform that it's often not viewed as worthwhile. Alright, so Thresh ends up staying. Jinx goes back, gets her boots too. There's the stun coming out. Ashe, I want to see you moving forward when you do that, because if you're not orb walking as an AD carry, at the end of the day, you're not an AD carry, right? You need to position between each auto attack. If you're unfamiliar with orb walking, or if you have issues learning it, there are many, many good YouTube guides that can show how it's done. Explaining how it's done really isn't that useful, so just watch some of those, and it'll give you some good advice. But yeah, when that stun went down, she could have auto-attacked, step forward, auto-attacked, volley, step forward, auto-attack, and maybe not necessarily got the kill, but she would have done a large amount more damage. So we see Thresh going in, the aggressive flashback from Ashe, constantly landing damage, and he has no mana though. Like, she has enough for what, 1 skill? Q? Yeah, 1 Q. Alright, so what I wanted to see there, they overlaid their CC very, very nicely, but there was a little bit of split focus from Ashe. She was just constantly switching which target she was hitting. Orb walking, stutter stepping, attack moving, there's many, many names for it. Basically, it just means you move between each attack, and you cancel the animation as soon as possible. Yeah, maxing the slow is not generally that good. Okay, so Yasuo actually going even with Shyvana, which is shocking. I mentioned earlier that Shyvana has the early advantage if she decides to just go in and brawl. Not a whole lot going on. Alright, so Shyvana just warding up. Not, again, this is a very boring lane to watch, and I'm very sorry if I'm not able to give too much advice to it. But to me, Shyvana should be in brawling and like trying to position around the Qs. You can't necessarily dodge them because they come out very quickly. But you can play some mind games, you can just get in there and fight. And Shyvana should technically come out in a very good place from this lane. Alright, so back in mid lane, Katarina. Actually not bad in terms of CS, only down about 20. Alright, so I really just want to see if she's starting to dodge some of these bombs. No, Cat has not died yet. Alright, so we see wards. This should be no risk whatsoever. Yeah, close Facebook, don't worry. Oh, this wig is starting to hurt my head. I'm gonna take it off for now. I'll put it on at the end of the game so you guys can actually see it. So we see Vi going in for gank mid as I drop my shit all over the ground. Ziggs just bounces away and you're perfectly fine. Oh my god, I have to rewind now. Oh, I can breathe again, I'm so happy. Okay, so Ashe is level 7. She has her ult up, as does Annie. So, I'm just going to see exactly what sets this up. They lead with the W, follow with Tibbers. Annie picks up the kill at the end. Not necessarily ideal, but it doesn't matter. They just trade flashes and they walk away. I might have suggested saving the arrow. Rocket does not quite connect. J4 is going to get the kill onto Annie, though. Very good job. Oh my god. I have blonde hair stuck to my headset. Sorry, I have a giant chunk of wig stuck to my headset. They're probably trying to use a lantern as shield. But yeah, what I would have liked to see with that chase is instead of Ash standing still and arrowing on a target that was relatively dead, she could have simply walked forward. Someone mentioned that she's maxing her slow, which I don't agree with. Eee. No, you max volley first, dude. Alright, so she has a lot of slow potential, though. So step forward, auto attack to make sure they're continually slowed, and save your arrow for if they're going to flash. That would have allowed you to pick up the kill on Thresh, and then after you got the flash from Jinx, you could have then arrowed and re-engaged. Yay, she dodged. Yeah, we're just gonna fast forward this a bit, get back to live. Down in bot lane. Ooh, hook goes onto Annie. Arrow goes back in from Ash. A lot of damage coming out onto Annie, but not really gonna mean anything. Annie has a couple potions, so she should be relatively safe. Jinx on... yeah, they all have potions, never mind. So they're just gonna sort of take a step back and continue farming to their heart's content. Alright, so here comes Vi. She is a one-man wrecking crew, so let's see what she does. Alright, so not able to pull anything out of her hat there. Nice disengage coming in from both Jinx and Thresh. I really like that. So now we have J4 re-engaging, lands the knock-up onto Ash. That is not good for Ash. Alright, so then J4... ooh. Why did you not ult? I don't like that. I really don't like that. I'll explain why in a second. In the meantime, Jinx throwing some rockets back in. They get a lot of damage on. Second rocket goes through. Eee, what are you doing, Ash? Alright, so now Vi's gonna re-engage. Does not quite connect with Jinx. So, nothing gonna happen. Oh, here comes J4 again. Lands the knock-up onto Ash. Boom, gets a double kill. Now you really have to watch out for Vi. 5 seconds on Lantern. You need to be flaying this. Flay up. Flay up. Up, up, up. Oh, you didn't need to. Whatever. So at the end of the day, he actually flays out of the traps that were already thrown. It was off cooldown. I did check. Flash hook. Very nice. And that's going to be a kill over to Jinx. Nice job. Alright, so Ash needs to work on her attack move. That's what I said earlier. And that's really what's catching out. She's just standing still whenever she auto-attacks, and it's letting them continually land engages like that. Second thing, though, is that when J4 initially engaged, they were all grouped together, and instead of immediately ulting so all three were trapped inside for Jinx rockets, he stayed and then re-engaged on essentially peeling for his allies with the ult. I think they could have done that a little bit more aggressively and still won. Either way, J4, though, really nice mechanics there. Good Thresh mechanics, although I think Thresh could have done that better, but it doesn't matter. It worked out. He also didn't need to flash. Like, Thresh could have got that with no flash, no problem. Alright, so Cat is going right for her Deathfire Grasp. I want to compliment that because Deathfire Grasp on Katarina is hilariously strong. I see a lot of lower elo Katarinas where they rush out something silly where it's like, I'm going to rush Liandry's Torment. Okay, but Kat's only good if she gets a reset. Yes, but I have damage over time. Yeah, but you jump in and your burst is all within like 1 or 2 seconds. But I have like 5 extra damage over time. No, like why are you wasting gold on this? And I don't know why people have gotten into that mindset. I don't know if it's like something they've seen done or if it's because it's a recommended item. But it just confuses me every time I see it pop up. The Ziggs ult, oh, he's not able to chaos it. Alright, so J4 getting yet another kill. He's now 6-0-1. Oh my goodness. Not able to land the knockup. Burns the flash from Katarina though. Oh, cat. Oh, so this cat, same issue before. You need to work on your dodging. The barrier was too late, and she walked directly into the bomb. Not the end of the world, but it's just a little odd. Back in bot lane. Pretty much dead even in terms of CS. The only difference is that Annie has a few CS. So she's actually going to be scaling up towards damage, whereas Thresh is going full tank. Congratulations, nice man. We'll be sending that prize over in the next few minutes. Hopefully you enjoy your prize. J4 farming out the enemy jungle. I would like to see Shyvana shoving in this so that they can then try a turret dive. That's only going to work though if Shyvana can poke him down a bit and actually fight. And she seems a little cautious too. If you just do a single attack like that, you're not actually going to make him lose any health because you're just popping his shield. Alright, here comes the J4. Yeah, so it does notice it this time, so good job to him. There we go. Free kill over to... Oh. Shyvana wasting her flash and ult, but either way, nice kill over to J4. He is incredibly fed right now. 7-0-1. Very, very nice. Okay, so they're not necessarily going to be able to take this tower in time because Vi is coming up, but they're going to get a lot of damage onto it. Alright, so the issue here is that you both have no ult and you're fighting inside tower range. They realize that very quickly and just back out. Alright, so Jinx pushed out again. To be fair though, she is farming up nicely and she's got some kills and assists. So even though she's being pushed out a lot, she's still doing well in the lane. Alright, so that's going to be free tower over to Shyvana. Good. Oh, is he going to be able to finish it off? Not quite. Shyvana takes him down. That's just a very cocky fight from Zed to be... Sorry, not Zed. Yasuo. Ugh. Alright, so I really want to see this Katarina start roaming a little more. Now that she has her DFG, every time her DFG is up, I want to see her showing up and getting kills for herself. Whether it's a kill on her mid laner or whether it's roaming, either will work. DFG's not quite up yet, so this kill's probably not going to happen. Also, Ziggs is there to cancel her ult. Okay, so you want to work on your vault breakers a little bit there. Not quite connecting with them. If I was giving some itemization advice for Yasuo, you might want to consider some early magic resist. The bulk of Shyvana's damage in lane is magic damage, and you're still going to be dealing with Ziggs in the late game anyways. Oh, they land a very nice hook over onto... the auto attack. Sorry, they land a very nice hook over onto Katarina, and it ends up going over to Ziggs with one final auto. Alright, so this is a free tower over to them. Nice use of your rockets there. Ult goes across, arrow does not land, and that is a kill over to Jinx. Very nicely played combo. Just really, really smooth. Smooth and sensual. Hey, Andy, you're going way too deep, buddy. You did not have your stun ready, so that was just very, very poor decision making there. I'm not sure why that happened. It's possibly misclicked, though. Oh, this J4. Very nice. The communication and teamwork coming out from Purple Team right now is just hilariously good. Like, I want this team in solo queue. This is awesome. Oh, okay, good. Good disengage there from him. Alright, so Decided to engage and then immediately thought better of it. Used barrier, but was able to escape. Honestly, though, as Katarina, you only want to engage when you're 100% confident you want the fight. For example, this would be a good assassination attempt. Not that she has vision on it, but still. Just trying to see if there's any large issues here. Like, anything I'm noticing I've mentioned before, such as the standing still while you're auto-attacking, not quite dodging out of the Ziggs bombs. Like, there's always ways to improve in terms of mechanics, but I don't want to harp on the same ones over and over again. Yeah, Annie, you want to stay a little bit further back. You have two types of Annie play. Number one is engage. So that flash engage, flash alt, boom, done. Nope, not quite able to land that engage. If you're going for that, you generally build like a DFG and you just stay backline until you see people grouped, and then just jump in, set up the fight for your team, and go with it. That's actually really good with her team comp because Annie can initiate, guaranteeing the Ash Arrow lands, guaranteeing Katarina gets a combo off on that, but they need to all be on the same page for that to work in any way. The second style of play is disengage. You stand behind your AD carry or whichever carry is being focused, and the second they try and engage, you stun them, combo them, and try and force them to retreat. Because they're then stuck in your team, they're stunned, and they've taken a lot of damage. Either of those is... ooh. So Annie leads actually this time with the engage. Katarina tries to lead in the fight with her DFG, but is not able to follow it up. So that then means that she's down a very important cooldown for this upcoming fight, and she's down to half health. That's free dragon over to purple team. Yeah, you really only want to arrow if your entire team is ready for the fight, and it's a fight that you actually want. And that just isn't the case here, unfortunately, for them. Yeah, Annie just sort of just saying, just kill me instead. The rest of the team is able to get away as a result. Ooh, just give up the red buff. You're not fighting that. You are... oh god, you are fighting that, aren't you? Katarina gets a lot of damage out before she's taken down, but there's no one there to follow up. Annie's already dead, so there's no extra AoE stun to layer on top of it. Ashe has already used her arrow, and Yasuo has already backed out. The only possible engage there would be like, okay, Vi jumps in across it, but she would need to already have her Vault Breaker charged in order to really justify doing that. If Yasuo was able to get a knockup, he could have ulted, but there's no knockup for him unless the Vi engaged with them. That's what I'm saying, like, if there was a charged Vault Breaker to engage right at the same time, that would have been a beautiful re-engage, because the Vault Breaker could have gone directly across them, Yasuo would have immediately ulted on top, and Katarina would have been bought more time to finish her damage combo, but they were already low enough health that they would have been able to pick that up. But that would require a lot of pre-planning and really, really good communication. He landed a 4-man tornado? Oh, I apologize. In that case, I am blind, and yes, he definitely should have engaged, and Vi should have come with it. They should have been able to win that. Oh, don't worry, we just do this a couple hours a week. The rest of it is my own gameplay. Haunting Guys is perfectly fine. Haunting Guys is a great item on Katarina. The issue is you don't rush Liandry's. Haunting Guys is fine. I want to see boots upgraded to either Source Boots or Boots of Mobility, and I want to see an Hourglass coming out. Those are really what she needs in order to succeed right now. Generally, I expect to see like a DFG, Hourglass, and then like a Game Void Staff and Death Cap. Can Yasuo ult when Shyvana or J4 ult? I think they fixed that. If you knock yourself up, I don't think it allows him to ult. It used to, but not so much. Thresh tries to go in. Did you really need to flash there? Whatever. It works. Ash, you're getting a little too close there again. You did not get punished for it this time, but you really need to watch your positioning if you're going to be playing Ash. Annie taken out before she can really do anything. Asher goes in, immediately comboed by J4. She tries to re-engage, getting a little bit of damage in, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Redburn not quite enough to take it out, but the Jinx... Oh, nope. Taken out before Jinx can ult. Yeah, Katarina tries to follow up, but at this point, it's Purple Team's game to lose. They're going to take this inhib. After that, I want to see them heal up, ward up, and then take Baron. I want to compliment their wards. They're like, oh my goodness. And unfortunately, I have to say the opposite for blue team. They only have like a couple here, and most of them are involving Katarina trying to ward jump. No, I think this will probably be the last game. We don't have any other shoutcasters, so... No, they don't have time to end, because you have to remember, this is only 27 minutes in, so it's not as though they have a, it's not as though they have, like, 2-minute respawn timers or something ridiculous, like it's a 70-minute game or something. Oh, apparently blue team's trying to surrender. It was a nice try, but it just didn't work out for them. It's hard to ward when you have a 10k gold deficit. No, you need to be using your trinkets every cooldown, and you need to be using your sight stone every cooldown. Problem is, you don't have a sight stone. I'm looking at you, Frank and Annie. No, you definitely need a sight stone. Yeah, I also don't like her build. Like, go DFG if you want damage, go boots if you want engage, go, well, sight stone because you're a support. Support's build fucking sight stone. But yeah, no, I really don't like her build here. I'll be talking about builds at the end of the game, though. I definitely agree with late. You ward before you're at that deficit, not after. Okay, so this is warded. I doubt they're going to be able to get anything here. Teleport coming in from Annie. Not sure what that's supposed to accomplish. She doesn't have boots, so even if they teleported in, unless she's already in the fight, she's not going to be able to catch anyone. The only thing that would work here is like a 5-man Tibbers into a full combo. I would like to see them try, but yeah, she doesn't have her stun up anymore. Blue trinket for 80 carry in mid-game. I've seen some people do it, and it works. It's viable. You really have to learn to use it effectively, though. Thresh doesn't have boots either. He's winning, though, so I can say, oh, you're just being cocky with your build, and he doesn't have that benefit of a doubt. Nice hooks. So I would have liked to see him follow in his Q and flay backwards, because the rest of his team is right here to set up the fight. In the meantime, they get another kill onto Annie, and should be taking this tower right after. You don't buy boots on supports, then you're not playing support well. I know that's a very broad statement, and let me clarify before you jump down my throat. Supports exist to gank. They are not the babysitter of the AD carry, they do not sit bot lane. So without boots, how are you supposed to gank mid? How are you supposed to gank their jungler? How are you supposed to make it to top and back before your AD carry dies? That's why boots of mobility, or sometimes other boots, but almost always boots of mobility, are core on supports, because your job is to gank, your job is to roam. Oh, that hook almost landing. It doesn't matter though, because J4 is here. Ash! Oh. Oh yeah, this is the ending game. Zig's landing a lot of damage across the team. Shyvana goes in. Katarina tries to ult across, not really going to get anything from it, and there's the surrender. Okay, so we're going to go over overall build comments here, and then we'll go from that. I know I took off the mask. I couldn't breathe in it properly. Oh, I'll put it on now, though. Damn it. This wig is very uncomfortable. Oh no, my wig has gone flaccid. There. I'll just go with this for the rest of the commentary. Okay, so overall build comments here. Ash had some issues with positioning and just how she was moving between auto attacks, orb walking, animation canceling, stutter stepping, however you would like to refer to that. Infinity Edge, yeah, her build is pretty much standard, but she didn't get very far into it. It's unfortunate for her, but it just means I don't have much to comment on. Vi, a lot of her Qs were just not very much on point. She needs to work on aiming those, making sure that she can combo properly. Her build was pretty much what you would expect, though. Annie, I really don't like her indecision in her build. Number one, you have to have Sightstone as a support. You do not have a choice. You have to build Sightstone. If you disagree with that, you're welcome to your opinion. But at the end of the day, you're not providing enough utility as a support if you're not warding. And if you're buying wards anyways and saying, no, I won't buy Sightstone, I'll just buy wards. Well, if you're buying enough wards to be useful, you should have just bought a Sightstone. And that's why I'm so adamant on that. Second thing is Hourglass is fine, but why did she also go Blasting Wand? She delayed that in order to try and finish up the Hourglass as soon as she could. She also did not have boots, so she was not able to catch people out or to retreat from things. Oh yeah, that's a Riot Staff member. No, he is a natural Riot Staff member. I played with him a few times. So yeah, I really just liked her build. I wanted to see boots, I want to see Hourglass, I want to see swapping out for Sweeping Lens, and if you want to go Hourglass, that's fine. And sorry, I said Hourglass instead of Sightstone, I think. Anyways, doesn't matter. Katarina's build is pretty much in order, but I want to see a tier 2 boots, whether that's boots of mobility or source boots, so that they can roam around a little bit more effectively. Unfortunately, there wasn't too many areas for her to gank, but I wanted to see her setting up fights bot lane all the time, because every time there's an Ashe arrow or an Annie stun, that's a free kill or double kill for you. Yasuo had a lot of issues top lane. He just wasn't able to set anything up for himself. He also needed to work on his map awareness. His build, though, is fine. Static Shiv, Blade of the Rune King. He needed the lifesteal. He needed the dueling potential. He needed the wave clear. It was fine. Ziggs, pretty much what you'd expect. Athene's Death Cap into Void Staff. I'm assuming Hourglass was coming after that. J4, an absolute monster this game. His combos were on point. His decision making was on point. His build was very, very good. I oftentimes expect to see Jarvan's build one damage item, but he did not need it. He did it perfectly. It was really, really good job. Thresh, you need boots, but you did fine. You did really well with a lot of your hooks. Also, if you're not going boots, you need to finish up your Talisman of Ascension. It gives you more move speed. It gives you a highly, highly powerful utility active on it. So that's definitely something you want to work on. I get that you wanted to be tanky, but mobility would probably be better. You would have been able to continue landing those great hooks and end the game that much faster. Jinx had some really good positioning overall from what I remember. I could be a little bit off on that. Her build is also pretty much what you expect. Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, I'm assuming Last Whisper, Bloodthirster as final items there. Shyvana, pretty much on point as well. I would have liked to see her dueling a little bit more early, because she can win duels at like level 2, 3, 4 versus Yasuo, but she needed to believe in her ability to trade versus it. Every time I did see her trade, and I apologize I wasn't able to pay much attention to top lane, but when I did see it, it boiled down to she would like run up through minions, hit once, break his shield, and run away. Okay, well you've just taken minion aggro and you've not done any damage to him. So if you're going to initiate onto that and you're going to go for a trade, you wait for him to come in to last hit, you stand near that minion so you can auto attack, double attack, do what you need to do in order to burst him down, and then you have the choice of either chasing and continuing that engage or retreating. Either one works, but I would like to see a little bit more aggressive playstyle in the early game. Overall though, you guys did an awesome job. I really want to compliment Purple Team's communication and teamwork. It was very, very nice to watch. I apologize if the game was a little bit one-sided, but I mean, these things happen. We try and do whatever we can to reduce randomness as we go through. That's actually going to wrap things up. I know we're ending a little bit early, but I am streaming a hell of a lot this week. I'm going to be streaming all day tomorrow. We're going to be hopefully jumping back to my main account, grinding out diamond ranked Victor games, because I know a lot of you are getting bored of my smurfing with him. That should be a lot of fun. I'm also then going to be streaming, probably doing a bonus stream on Tuesday, my normal stream Wednesday, all day Thursday, all day Friday. So I feel justified ending a couple hours early tonight. In the meantime, though, I'm going to play a quick set of ads, and I'm going to let you guys ask questions in chat. I'll be answering those for the next couple of minutes. So if I missed something, or you disagree with some of my comments, or you just want to chat, hit me up in chat, and we'll take care of that now. For the winners of the giveaways, you should be getting your prizes relatively soon if you haven't already. Oh my god. A $5 donation from Paper Pals. Comment just being heart. Thank you so much, Paper Pals. That is absolutely amazing. I really, really appreciate that, dude.
We have like tomorrow's cosplay goal now.
I know, we're like almost at tomorrow's cosplay goal. Every time, it will carry over tomorrow, don't worry. Yeah, what are we at? We're at 40. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. You guys blew me away today. That is just amazing.